Abysmal. That's what they're saying in the comments. So I'm gonna just start it off right in the beginning with abysmal. Abysmal.
Oh, man.
26-18 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Joining us today, we got Josh Taylor. Um, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Doing good, man. I'd like to say I slept on it, but I didn't sleep much, so I might need another night to really get over this one. This one hurt just to watch it. To be honest with you, this is not the team we saw the first few weeks of the season, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Absolutely. And definitely shout out to Josh. We appreciate you joining us for this recap. Doing big things out here. And we respect the grind. So thank you for
I
joining us
appreciate
and
it.
collabing with us.
I like
And
good people,
yeah,
so
let's get it.
I'll always join the show with some good people. We got some good content people in the fan base. Y'all one of them for sure. So
No question.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate that. So yeah, let's get right to it, Reedy. I mean, we got to talk about this offense. We talked about last night. Our quarterback was rattled. The O line was giving up, a lot of pressure. Wasn't able to run the ball. Some of the keys to the game before the game, we talked about Jayden, needing to be able to have the ability to run, get out the pocket, extend plays. And last night, once again, we saw, he wasn't able to do much of that. Uh, what I mean? He ended up only having just under 200 yards, like 180, 190 some yards. Terry McLaurin, only one catch. Uh, what I mean? Guys are still dropping the ball. Mr. De'Ami Brown. Um, offense never really had a flow. What I mean? From what I saw, Brian Robinson did get in, came back and started early. What I mean, had a good flow. I felt like we was running the ball and the team, what I mean, moving the chains. And then it came like we came back and it just abandoned it. Cliff got kind of pass happy. And what I mean, we saw that what we talked about when we get in the games where we can't control the game and run the ball and get pass happy. It just feel like the team is not really doesn't have the full weapons to kind of with that formula. What I mean, our weapons are our backs, our weapons is our quarterback, and they just make everything else flow. So it definitely was a tough one. What's some of the things you guys seen? Starting with you, Josh.
I mean, you said it. Just like the two games that we really lost this season that hurt the most, like with the Ravens and Steelers, like we just didn't run the ball well. Obviously, B Rob was out for both of them, and finally got him back, and you can only lean on them so much. Eckler doing a ton out of the backfield. I mean, 9 targets, 8 catches, 89 yards is nuts. Um, it's just we don't have enough firepower on offense to really for a defense to be like, okay, we have to worry about these guys outside of Terry. If you cover Terry, has anyone else in the offense this entire season stepped up and say, okay, I have to worry about covering this guy? Besides Noah Brown on a Hail Mary, no. and he'll draw
Correct.
some pass interferences and stuff like that, but nobody else is a legit threat to any of these defenses we face, especially good defenses like the Steelers and with the Eagles. Like we can't sit here and say the Eagles don't have one of the best rosters in the NFL because they do. They're top five in almost every single category on defense, and we saw that last night. You take away Terry, and there's just nothing left. So I think top to bottom, it's just a ugly game from the offense. They need to recalibrate. They need to get better. I think there's a lack of talent, which I hate to say, but if you look at the sheet, Terry, Alameda Zacchaeus, Noah Brown, De'Ami Brown, Luke McCaffrey, that's your wide receiver room. Not many teams are worried about that. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm like, okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
big
I want
facts.
to.
Big facts. That's true.
I agree wholeheartedly with that evaluation. Just like I said before in the beginning of the show, abysmal. Terry McLaurin, he had one catch for 10 yards. His first target didn't come with until 10 minutes in the well, it didn't come until the 11-11 mark of the third quarter. His first catch was 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He's a number one receiver. We go back and forth. We was going back and forth on this channel at one time about Terry being a 1A or 1B, but if he's your true 1A top tier receiver, he's third in, I believe it before this game was third in the league
Yep.
in receiving yards, then he has to be targeted. Noah Brown, 4 targets, 1 catch. De'Ami Brown, 2 targets, 1 catch. Alameda Zacchaeus, 2 targets, 1 catch. That's not going to get it done.
No.
We struggled throughout this whole game, offensively. I was telling Z in the stands, like Jayden looked a little antsy with his feet, like he was unsure, or he was, I don't want to say scared, but it seemed like he was bothered by the pass rush that was coming, and I felt like he had time. He had ample time to get the ball off, but if your receivers can't get open, then we can't play football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're stopping the running game or we're getting minimal yards on the run, then we these receivers by committee. I mean, clearly it's not working.
Yeah. I will
Over the
say
last 2 games.
the offensive line last night was terrible, I thought. And PFF came out this morning and said they gave up 14 pressures, which is the third most of a team this season, second most since week 6. 14 pressures. That's not good. And even when there wasn't pressure, and you're right, when there wasn't pressure, Jayden still felt like it seemed like he was feeling something that wasn't there. Like he was so used to the pressure coming. And we saw it against the Steelers too. I know Watt didn't do anything, but Highsmith was having a day, and so was Hayward. They were having a day in the backfield. And it just seemed like he just felt pressures that wasn't there sometimes. And then when the pressure was there, it was getting to him. But then no one down the field is opening up. So it's just a trickle effect. Like you can't like it just everything has to balance well for this offense to click. And it did for such a long time. And now it's not. We're sitting here wondering like what happened over the last 2 weeks. And I think it does have to do with good defenses and really good D lines. Do I think the offensive line is bad? No. I don't think the first, 7 games of the season is a fluke by any means, but everyone's so banged up too. I mean, this team needs a break. This team needs some rest. All 3 of the offensive tackles that usually start had injuries and were questionable just like 24, 48 hours ago going into the game. So I think this team just needs to get this mini bye week and then take advantage of these 2 games we have coming up with the Cowboys and Titans, which should be very winnable. And then actually have a bye week in week 14, which is crazy. I think this team's just beat up. They're wore down. That Pittsburgh game was physical, man.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. So I'm not going to be the guy like screaming from the rooftop like we're doomed, like this is the same Washington team. That's not going to be me. I don't know about y'all, but I had people telling me Marcus Mariota should have started last night. That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It wasn't even just one, it was multiple people.
I saw somebody say sit Jayden and let Mariota play the next 2 so he can be out the bye. And I'm like, what?
He said he's fine. And I honestly believe him.
Yeah, they were actually saying, I was listening to the post game on 980 on the way home last night, and I think a caller called in and was talking that Marcus Mariota stuff. Jayden looks injured. He says he's not injured. I mean, I think everybody got nicks and bruises this time of the year, but I don't necessarily think that rib injury is a deciding factor. I just think that, as good as he's played this year, he's a rookie quarterback. There's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be ups and downs and in-betweens. And I just think we hit our adversity mark of the season where stuff isn't coming so easy. So, like you said, this 10 days that we have off before we play the Cowboys, it's pivotal. Get some guys rested, get some guys back, and move on from there. But the offense has been high powered. I mean, I guess it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be cupcakes and everything throughout the whole season. So, like you said, I'm not ready to sound the alarm and say, oh, we're this, we're that. There was a lot of injuries and a lot of things of that nature. But I think we'll be fine. But it is what it is. We have to come better against these better teams. We're not there yet. We forget that we're 7-4 at this moment, but would any of us predicted that we would be here right now? Absolutely not.
And if they say yes, they're lying.
So, with that being said, I think we just got to pump our brakes and just realize, we were expecting this. It didn't happen early. It's happening now. So we just got to fight through it. And like Quinn said last night in the presser, it might be a 3-4 game, stretch where things ain't going too good, and they just got to get it together. It is what it is.
Yeah, I still think it's a playoff
definitely.
Team. Call me crazy, but I still think we make the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think we're a playoff team. And just to kind of go back to what we was talking about with the talent, one of the big questions around this team, despite all the changes and the additions, was the true talent. Especially in the wide receiver room. When we traded Jahan, I kind of went off about it because I felt like Jahan was on the rise and that he was our number two. And I made a statement saying that if we don't go and have a corresponding move and get a true number two, that we're going to suffer. Early on this year, that necessarily wasn't the case, and everything was clicking and flowing. But now that guys got 10 weeks of tape on this offense and kind of counteracting that with keeping Jayden, containing him and not allowing him to get out the pocket, definitely getting that pressure and causing havoc. It's slowing the offense up. Like Reedy said, Terry is the only receiver we really true receiver we really have. So I just don't understand how you can end a game with one target to him. At times you got to force the ball. It was a couple of times we were trying to get downfield. I think it was right before halftime. And I'm just like, we're not taking shots. We just keep trying to, you know, dink and dunk here and there, try to catch something over the middle. Like, we're not taking these deep shots. A lot of times when you take the deep shots, you're getting pass interference calls, holding calls. You're just keeping the defense on their toes. All that underneath stuff is not going to win many games. So I just definitely feel like in order for us to could get back to where we were, we just got to continue to keep flowing and stay confident. And somebody gonna have to step up. I don't know if that means when Crowder comes back that he's in the mix in the slot and at punt returner. Definitely should be at punt returner. So I think Zacchaeus hasn't given us anything there, especially last week with the 2 fumbles. And he's not getting much returns. He's not making many people. He's not really doing the job back there. And I'm not against him per se. It's just let's see what Crowder got when he gets back. Hopefully, that practice windows opens up and we can get that moving forward, and just see what he got. Or, continue to play the wide receiver market. It gotta be somebody out here that you can bring in just to, push the guys at least. Just kind of mix it up. Dan Quinn, one thing I can say, and I appreciate him not giving up on guys when they make mistakes and, sticking with them. But also, I don't want us to kind of bask in that too much and then allow, this season to slip away from us because we're trying to prove a point that we loyal to our guys. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I'm surprised Eckler hasn't gotten more like punt return stuff. He's been good on kickoffs. Like,
correct.
It kind of confused me, especially with how bad Oz was the last 2 weeks. But a lot of people tell me like, Josh, we should have traded for D Hop. We should have traded for Amari Cooper. Like, guys, we traded some premium picks for Marshawn Lattimore. You can't think we're going to double dip at the trade deadline and do that twice and give up our entire draft slate. Like, that's not how it works. Like Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne, do any of those 2 guys or someone along that line really move the needle? No, not at all. You might as well see what you have right now for the season, kind of like how we did with, corner last year. Like, you might as well just see what you have and then move forward. We did it beginning of the season. They said, all right, these corners suck. We need to go get Marshawn Lattimore outside of Mikey Samerstill, who is an absolute dog. Love Mikey. But it's going to take more than 1 year to rebuild this team. I think that's the top priority now, should be a outside wide receiver outside of Terry that could take the top off of a defense, because we don't have that. I think that's the biggest thing that's missing. And I think DQ and Adam Peters are going to find that guy. Whether it's T. Higgins in free agency, who a lot of people don't like, but I would love T. Higgins, and then draft a guy.
Love. Smooth.
Everyone's saying like, oh, he's always hurt, he's unreliable. He requested a trade before the season, and they are underperforming. Their defense sucks. I'm not putting my body out there like if I'm hurt. Like, absolutely not, man. I would love T. Higgins. I think Adam Peters would do that in a heartbeat. But we need a number 1 wide receiver so bad. It's such a glaring need. But Jayden did miss some throws. Like, there was people open last night. There was a couple routes just watching the all 22 this morning. I'm like, dang, like I wish Jayden would have seen that. But it's the pressure. Like I said, it's just, it all goes together. One thing falls apart, the entire offense falls apart. And I said this, when Jayden is at 100%, he can help elevate this offense. And we saw it the whole, except the last 2 games. He's looked great. He's elevated guys on this team. we were like, oh man, Lamade is like, he is just making catches. What the heck? Like, but when he's not at 100% and the offensive line is not at 100%, the rest of it just falls apart. I think it's what we've seen the last 2 weeks. I'm not freaking out though. Like,
And
I still feel good about this team.
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
To your
Definitely not
point,
hitting the
Z,
panic button.
to your point about the taking shots down the field, I don't, me personally, from what I saw live, I haven't had a chance to go back and rewatch it. But once I go back and rewatch it, I stand corrected if I'm gonna say something that's not true. But I don't think guys were open down the field to get
Not deep. No, they
to
weren't.
stretch the field. I think Quinyon Mitchell, Terry lined up on him 20 times, 20 snaps, 0 targets. Darius Slade on the other side, they locked it down. Like, we gotta give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Like, it was just great defensive play from their defensive backs and their linebackers flow to the ball, similar to what the Pittsburgh Steelers did before. They Jayden couldn't really get outside if he wanted to. When I thought it was lanes where he could step up in the pocket, there was a spy there or a linebacker sitting in the hole, so he couldn't really extend plays and get down the field and do those things. But I mean, talent. It comes back to talent. Like with me, like I don't think we have the talent to be in these conversations with these upper echelon teams. You got to think Philadelphia, they've been good for how many years? They had the talent all across the board. So, we're there, we're in the conversation, but we're not there yet. We're a year or two out from being really good. I think we can be really good, but we're just not there yet. It's in the offseason, Adam Peters is going to cook, and I think, we're going to bring in some other guys. If it's a receiver, we definitely still need an edge rusher. With all that Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong and these other guys have done, we still need a dominant pass rusher. We talked a few weeks ago about going to get the guy from the Raiders, was Max Crosby. That's a guy of some of interest of somebody that we would need, but we need a dominant, somebody dominant. We we need role players and stuff like that, but at the same time, in the wide receiver position, we need another, like Josh said, another one receiver to complement Terry McLaurin, because he can't do it by himself.
Yeah. Now we do need an edge rusher for sure. Not that I hate our guys, but you just need somebody that can take a game over on defense too.
Exactly.
Like if you watch the Raiders games, you watch Max Crosby, watch the crazy things he does. Same with Myles Garrett over the last few years. Same with Micah when he's healthy. Somebody that can just step up and take a drive over and end things quick. And we're still getting pressure. Like Luvu, Bobby Wagner have the highest pressure rate out of off the ball linebackers in the NFL. Like we have the best off the ball linebacker duo in the NFL, which is crazy because we were not used to that. But it still just comes down to, can one guy just step up and make plays? And we've been getting turnovers the last few weeks. I would have loved to fall in that fumble that Quan Martin popped out again last night. Who knows what happens after that, man?
Yeah.
That could have been a big time change. That was right after we lost momentum to that 4th down conversion, which was awful, by the way. But that fumble, man, I think about that one a lot.
It was tough. It was tough. Rolling into that 4th down call, someone just posed the question, what did we think about it? I think we should have kicked the field goal. Just at that point, I think we would have went up either 4 or 5 points, something like that.
13-12 if we would have made the field
goal.
No,
we would have went up 1.
We would have went up 1.
Okay.
So 13. Yeah, okay, because they was up 2. Yeah, so
game when the Eagles scored a touchdown.
Exactly. So that definitely hurt us. I mean, Quinn has definitely been kind of similar to Dan Campbell a little bit. Just being gutsy, going forward, having confidence in his team, which is fine and all that. But in situations as such, especially NFC East Showdown, things like that, I think in a moment like that, you kick the field goal, you take the points, and you live the fight. Defense was playing solid pretty much up to that point. And then you go for it, miss it, they come down, they score, they get the ball back, we go 3-0, they get the ball back, they score again. Saquon 2 touchdowns in 20 seconds. So it's just like crazy. Wow. Yeah. I think kicking that field goal definitely is it's a change of pace and kind of get things settled a little bit rather than how it turned out. And what you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think I agree with you on we should have kicked the field goal. in them circumstances of the game, because I feel like you changed the field position, because once after you kick the field goal, then you could pin them deep on the kickoff, and you know you just kind of just trying to flip the field a little bit. And I never would normally say go for the field goal. I'm always one to say, keep your foot on their neck, keep running the score up on them, try to, get more points. I get it, but in that situation, the way the flow of the game was going, I thought it was one of the moments that you had to kick the field goal. But he elected to not kick the field goal. And from his press conference comments, he feels pretty strongly with that. But going back to like the missed field goals by their kicker, like when they were kind of just like hanging around. And I'm just sitting there just like, bro, like we have to score. Like the same thing I was telling you last week or Pittsburgh, like we can't let teams hang around because for whatever reason in our history, fourth quarter, we seem to just give it up. We could play good through 3 quarters. Then in the fourth quarter, it's just lights out. Everything is just clicking for these teams. They're getting big runs. They're catching balls out of the backfield. Receivers that was quiet
doing in the fourth.
Right. So
yeah.
So that to me, I feel like we should have, and that point, the way the game was going, the game flow, we should have kicked that field goal.
Yeah, that call to me, and like you said, I was reading the comments that Dan Quinn was talking about last night. He was like, I don't know if that's what they didn't really answer. He kind of like went around it. Whose decision was that? Because
probably the guy that does the analytics that's up in the box that's helping him with the game management stuff.
I
forget his name.
That's a tough one to swallow. Gosh, what's his name? Yeah, we just Eugene
Giardi or something like that
or something. Yeah, remember. But I don't know. That's a tough one for me because I mean we beat the Giants with all field goals. Like you just take what points you can get. Yeah. Like, and he said, "Oh well, their offense is driving down the field. Well, yours isn't." So at some point, you just got to take points. Like, I hate to say it, but he's like, well, we just felt like we had to because they're driving down the field. Our offense isn't doing anything. So I'm taking every point I can. And in that situation, like we just talked about, it's 13-12. The fumble thing happens. If you get that back, you still have the lead. And it's like, 6 minutes left, I think? And you have the ball. That's huge. Or they just score a touchdown. Now Jayden Daniels has the ball and has a chance to do what he's done before the season, drive down the field and answer. Lamar Jackson goes down the field and scores. He has no problem going back down the field and scoring. You at least put him in a position to have a chance to go down the field and score. And it was 20-13 at that point? Yeah, because they had 12. Mm-hmm. Or no, did they miss the PAT then? Or whatever. They were up 1 touchdown. It was a 1-possession game. But instead, you go for it on 4th down. You don't get it. They score a touchdown. Now it's a 2-possession game. Now your offense that struggled all night is now forced to make things happen. What happened that next drive? Jayden throws a pick.
Yeah.
Like you're beating yourself up. Like the game's already hard. You're in Philly. It's prime time. It's NFC East game, and you're making it harder on yourself. Those are the kind of decisions I will never understand as someone watching the game. And I'm not on the sideline. I don't have the headset in. I don't have all that pressure. My job's not on the line. But, man, those are just the ones I struggle so much with. Because if you get it, you're like, oh, that was great. I'm glad we went for it. But then still, like, if we didn't score, we kick a field goal. What's the difference?
What's the difference? Yeah.
There isn't one. So that one just it drove me nuts. Like, that's going to be one I think about until we play them in December, honestly. Because all these games that we're losing, they are winnable. I'm still not scared of the Eagles. Like, we still shut down A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith for the most part. Saquon, like I said, that happened at the very end of the game. He had that one big catch that we missed a tackle in the open field. But then outside of that, all of his production came in, like, the 4th quarter. So I'm still not scared of them. Like, I still think they're beatable. We should have beat the Steelers. Could have beat the Ravens if we didn't give up so many big plays. Like, it's just all of our losses this season are just, like, we could have won that game.
Besides the Tampa
outside of Tampa.
That was our first game. That was our first game together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
now
sure. And go ahead.
Now I'm saying I feel like the Ravens are in a different conversation. Yeah, we were definitely in that game. We had our moments that we could have capitalized on, but definitely Pittsburgh and definitely this Eagles game should have been games that we won, but we didn't win them. So it is
Yep.
what it is. It's on the Dallas, but um, yeah, man, it's frustrating, because I feel like we're there, but we're just not capitalizing in key moments. But I mean, it
Yeah,
was
for
a tired
sure.
defense at that point. I'm trying to find a time of possession, but I can't. You got the time of possession?
Time
Anybody?
of possession was like 33-26. I just saw it.
Yeah,
Um,
33 and about 27. Yep.
I felt like they
yeah,
had more
33-07 to
moments.
twenty-six
Yeah, it
point
felt like it
nine
was
three. Yeah,
more.
it definitely seemed like it was. But that last drive, what I mean, we was just killing the clock, trying to go down to the store. That was another drive where I didn't feel like we
Yeah, it
was
was like a
taking
4 minute
shots.
drive. We
You
had
know,
two
that you
4 minute
down,
drives.
yeah, you down two possessions. You need to be pushing the ball downfield. I mean, you racking up catches for Ertz. Like that shit don't matter. Um,
Yeah.
but also just in general, just the offensive play calling. It was a couple times last night. I wasn't pleased with Cliff.
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't cook like he has cooked this year. And it's this going on notion that's been around. I seen it a couple of weeks ago, and it hit the text thread today. They keep saying, after a few weeks, Cliff always starts out hot. Then coaches around the league catch up with him, and he slows down. What I mean? It's just make you wonder. But I'm happy. I'm highly confident in Cliff, his play calling ability and leading his offense. I just think he needs to just, get back in his bag and, have confidence and move forward. But last night was just that fourth down call, definitely kind of questionable. Reedy was saying, I didn't see the replay, but Reedy was saying that it looked like Jayden bobbled the snap
Yeah.
and kind of killed us a little bit on that. But I just like you got B Rob, you got this bruiser, use this guy. What I mean? I don't feel like I feel like in those situational moments, we just try to get too cute. Just run the ball, run a dive, get line up Bates in the fullback position and
Yeah. Or sending
goal line
somebody just go at
formation or
it.
something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, figure it out. Go get that 1-2 yards and then we will regroup. But trying to run boots and design QB runs on the outside, like that shit not working,
Yeah, I don't even know
especially
what the
all
play
game they've
Yeah,
been
was.
containing.
because that's
Yeah,
that's
like
a,
all
a
game they've been
tendency
containing us.
that we put on film. That a tendency that we put on film. So teams know, okay, when it's not going right, they're get out of jail play on fourth and short. They're going to do some type of read
Yeah,
option.
like,
He's going to keep it.
yep,
He's going to get to the outside. That's just
exactly.
good play by Bond, the linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, he's a stud.
you know, and then you run at their strong side. Like I would run to the weak side, but
correct.
I want to know what you guys think about this, because what I'm saying is in the run game, we'll run the ball, but then as soon as we have a negative loss or something like that, they'll just get it completely away
Yeah,
from it and not even try to go
correct,
back. You're going to have losses. This is the NFL. Everybody's a
correct.
professional. You know what I'm saying? These defensive tackles, these linebackers, they can fill gaps and cause havoc in the backfield. But that don't mean abandon the run. You got to keep running it. That's what
Yeah,
the Eagles did. It that
having a couple of drives last night.
it, I think the Eagles were doing the read option the first part of the game, and then the last part of the game they started going to their traps and their counters and stuff like that. That's when they got their success. When they got away from the read option, that's Kellen Moore. That's good coaching right there. The read option isn't working, so you get into your traps and your counter games. That's what all of them runs that Saquon hit was on them.
Yeah,
I
the
just
thing
think we just
about
got to.
Cliff, it
Yeah, definitely.
Cliff, and it's not just him, it's just the offense. There's times where you treat the passing game as a running game with these short screens and check downs and stuff like that. And I get it to a certain extent. But we've been able to run I mean, we're a good running team. We're a top 3, top 4 running team for the entire season. So it doesn't make sense to me that, we do have all these check downs and all these quick throws and stuff like that to where you're getting away from it. Because the run game's worked all season. And I agree with you. Like, I just don't see a reason of why you get away from that. I mean, 3 for 12 on third downs, that's embarrassing. And I think it comes
Mhm.
down to being in third and long, putting yourself in bad situations. I mean,
Yeah.
14 pressures, Jayden getting sacked, incompletions, drops. I mean, you're not helping yourself out to where it's like, okay, now it's third and long. We got to do some kind of check down, or we have to kind of force it to somebody in the middle, and it's going to be short regardless because we can't stretch the field. So I think Cliff just has to get away from these little cute screens and trying to treat that as the running game. And just get back to just smash mouth football with B Rob because it works. And then Austin Eckler, especially like in that Bengals game with that run, we're beating him up, and then Eckler has that long run to the outside. That's why you have a change of back running back. You can't get this momentum and this rhythm going. Everyone in the on the broadcast last night's like, oh, they're out of rhythm. They're just not in rhythm. A running game gets you in rhythm.
Yeah.
You can't expect Jayden Daniels
Yep.
to make like 75% completions, like, and that be your rhythm on offense. So you're just forcing yourself. I agree with what you said, Reedy. Just forcing yourself to throw the ball way too much. And if he is hurt, then
And
why are you doing that?
and then to your point, even if you're going to run screens, we're running screens in a tight set. Spread them out to give Diami more space. Diami has shown that he can actually make some moves on the screen in them short throws. But I just feel like it's too condensed. It's too many people in there when you're trying to throw a screen, all these tunnel screens and
Much
stuff like that.
traffic.
Spread them out a little. It's too much traffic right there. Spread them out a little bit and just throw it out there. Let them be one-on-one with somebody versus being 3-4 defenders over there on that side of the field. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like you're throwing screens to the boundary instead of to the field side. It doesn't make sense.
Short side, you have 3 other linemen going out there too. So it's just like you got to fight your way through the traffic. No, I agree, man. It's frustrating. But
Yeah.
like, and I will have to like, I will say like, I will give Cliff credit that he's been able to coach around the lack of talent in the wide receiver room. And then around, missing B Rob a couple games, missing Eckler for a game or two, having to say, let's lean on some other guys. And I think he's done a good job up to like the last 2 weeks, honestly. But he's got to get back in there. I mean, him and Jayden in the offensive line and these wide receivers better be having like sleepovers and a cookout every single day up until that Cowboys game. Like they need to be talking ball like every single day. Just be like, what's going on? Like what happened? Why are we not running the ball anymore? Why are we sucking on third downs? Why are drives just completely stalling? Maybe it is because we're playing better teams now. I don't know, but I think it's just a little bit of everything. It's so frustrating though.
Yeah, I would agree on all of the above. What you guys said is definitely that rhythm is definitely missing, the clicking. So we definitely got to get back to what we do, and just kind of regroup and use these days to get aligned and figure it out. What I mean, when we talked about the offense a pretty good stint this far. For the defense definitely stayed their ground. Pretty, almost through 3 quarters, holding them down, giving the offense opportunities. Short fields. Um, but our offense wasn't providing that complementary football to keep that balance. But some of the things that stood out on defense, as we keep saying, we kind of held Brown in control. We held Devontae in control. Guys that I thought that was going to, truly turn up on us on the secondary. Me personally, I was definitely worried about Saquon. And like Reedy said last week, they got, some good enough weapons where you can't worry about fully stopping them. You all you can do is kind of control them. And then you gotta strike. And that's one thing we didn't do. We didn't strike offensively because the defense definitely gave us the opportunities.
Yep.
Just kind of looking at it, they end up finishing with 228 yards, but I'm sure a lot of that and rushing. I'm sure a lot of that came late on the 2 Saquon runs, and Hurts was definitely running around back there. Passing yards though, they only had 206. But overall, man, it's just that fight at the end of the day. We didn't have the same fight as they had, and they prevailed. But what did you guys see on the defensive end? I also remember Chin making a big hit on somebody on the
Yeah.
sideline. Yeah, that joint was nice.
That sweet chin music, that thing. Shoo. He's not
Right.
afraid to lay
Yeah,
his helmet down.
yeah.
But
Chin
go
trying to
ahead,
get
Reed.
that contract.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he should.
Absolutely. Definitely. I think defensively, I thought the first part of the game, I thought we were in there. I give a shout out to Joe Witt, for where we have come defensively over the last few games. The last 5 or 6 games, we've kind of been in there defensively. like we said, Jeremy 10, he had 13 total tackles, 10 solos. I thought guys flowed to the ball. I thought we were in position up until that fourth quarter when Saquon got to rolling. I thought they did their job, but if we we've been playing complimentary football the last I don't know how many weeks, and that's one thing that we didn't do. The offense just couldn't put points on the board. The defense was getting off the field. They limited Devonta Smith. Jahan was not a factor, even though I was saying in the building, the game plan is to get it to Jahan. Seemed like that was the first play of the game. And then AJ Brown, he had a couple catches, but it wasn't the AJ Brown of old. So shout out to St. Jude, shout out to Mikey, shout out to Noah I. They basically did their job. That running game killed us, but I think overall, like defensively, like we're bringing it on at the right time. In the beginning it wasn't easy, but I think now that we're getting into these pivotal games, they're doing what they need to do, but we just got to fix those offensive woes.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we can't stop the run. Even I know they had Saquon, but still, we have not been able to stop the run at all this season.
Anybody.
Which is concerning because like we're good at pass rushing with our linebackers, but for some reason, when offensive linemen get to the second level, we cannot stop the run. But yeah, man, Mikey Sanders still, man, and shout out to my goat Nick Saban. He said that was the best player in the entire draft, and it's really looking like he was the best defensive guy in the draft. Between him and Quinyon Mitchell, I think those are two defensive rookie of the year guys who definitely need more conversations. But we didn't talk about Ben St. Juste, so I guess he had a good game. Like I saw a couple plays of his. I was like, all right, kind of locked down. He took himself out of the game for a little bit. It looked like he was injured or something. They didn't really talk about it at all, but he was like jogging around, and then Mike Davis came in.
Yeah, we were like, why is he in the game? Why is 20?
Hey Josh, ask Reedy. I'm like, Reedy, why is he in the game? Get him out of the game. He playing like 3 plays on defense, then he playing special teams.
Yeah, no.
We get the ball back. He out there again. I'm going crazy. All I could think about was that Giants game when Neighbors was just murdering him, and I have not wanted to see him on this defense since then. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, why the hell is he even still on the team for real? For real.
Nah, that one made me get up on my seat. But Noah Igbenogany's actually been pretty solid this year too. For a random guy that I had no expectations for. Like people forget he's still a super young guy. He's like 24, 25 or something like that. He was a first round pick. He was a Dan Quinn guy. Like it ended up being like a good fit so far. I just want Marshawn to hurry up. Like I just can't wait to see what the defense looks like with him because Joe Witt has improved so much over the last few weeks. And once again, just like Cliff, having to coach around like John Allen going down, having bad corners. We play so much like cover 2. We play so much too high safeties just because of the big plays we give up. Joe Witt in his heart and soul wants to play 1 high safety, cover 1. He just wants man coverage, but he can't do it because of who we have out there. St. Juste is best as a zone guy, which makes no sense to me because he's so big. Like he should be a good man cover like corner, but he's not. He's best in zone. And Joe Witt absolutely it probably drives him nuts having to play as much zone as he does. So I cannot wait to see Marshawn out there. They can play some man coverage. They can lock up a guy 1-on-1, and it lets the linebackers run free more. But I do see these flashes like Luvu balling out, Chin balling out, Samer still balling out. I mean, Dante Fowler should be a Pro Bowler this year. So it is encouraging to see that the defense has gotten better almost every single week. But still, we cannot stop the run.
Yeah.
But
I don't think when Lattimore gets back, I don't think we're going to be running a lot of man. I think we're going to be running match coverage where they're probably going to have man on his side and everybody else is probably going to be in the zone. But
I think Mikey and man's good too. I don't know.
Mikey. I think I like Mikey on the outside. I'm not in a big hurry to put him back inside. I thought, and this is my opinion, I think that St. Juste is better inside because if we go back to his rookie season, he was better when he was inside. He didn't give up much. He was kind of like, we was like, who is this kid? 20. Yeah. Okay, St. Juste. Like he was making plays on the inside. So I think that's better suited for him to play inside. And you keep Mikey outside and then you put Lattimore on the other side and let him just lock down whoever the number 1 receiver is, just take them out the game.
Yeah, I'd be
but we
fine with
definitely
that.
got to fix those woes in the run game. It's just like defensive tackles not necessarily getting off the ball and clogging them gaps. We do it sometimes, but not a lot of times. And I don't know if you guys saying this too, but my understanding as a linebacker, your first step is a read step forward. Why are linebackers taking steps backwards in the run game? And it's like they're trying to catch tackles versus coming forward to make tackles. I don't know if you guys seen that, but in that
I
when you
think
when you watch the film, you'll see what I'm saying.
I think the RPO actually kind of keeps the linebackers honest, especially with a lot of teams running it. You know what I mean? Because you got to hesitate and kind of read and make sure that the quarterback ain't coming back and then throwing the ball. And a lot of times in those run plays, even when the quarterback is handing off the ball, Jayden does it a lot. Even when he handing off the ball, he's still going through that quarterback motion like he's throwing it. So they just kind of give, I guess, I think from my interpretation, that little slight read is just kind of making sure that the RPO isn't coming. But also just
No, real
also
quick,
Joe Witt.
not to cut you off. Not to cut you. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But real quick, it's not the slight hesitation. It's like the play is like 2 seconds in, and they see that it's an obvious run, and they're still backing up, like when they're coming towards them instead of attacking. You got to attack downhill. You can't sit there and wait for guys to get up on you. You're giving them 3-4 yards.
Yeah,
That's the point.
Yeah,
But my
can't
bad.
do
Go
that.
ahead.
yeah. Nah, I was about to say also on the kind of lost my point.
Oh shit, my bad.
Nah, you good. You good. I lost my. I'm a let y'all talk real quick. When they come back, I bring it up.
Well, like I said, one thing I keep seeing is like when the linemen are getting to the second level, I don't know, maybe that's why they're dropping so much. Like they're trying to see like where the play is about to go to, like to see like, the exact gap and then try to attack instead of just guessing and then let something just pop outside of them. But still, it's Bobby Wagner. Like he's seen everything. There's not anything on that field that Bobby Wagner hasn't seen before. And then same with Frankie Louvu. Frankie is a stud. I'm definitely gonna
Mhm.
go back and watch this one just on defense and see like what's going on in the run game. That's the only thing I can think of is to where they're just like whether it's like a pull across scheme or like a pull front or something where they just don't know exactly where the play is about to go to and they're kind of just sitting back waiting for the play to develop, then to be able to attack the exact gap. But still, like you can't be that conservative. Um, and you're letting these like bleeding plays happen. Saquon Barkley averaging 5.6 yards per carry. He gets the ball twice on a drive and they have a first down. Like you can't let that happen. And I don't want to be the team that has that bend don't break mentality on defense in the run game or the passing game. And it seems like it's happening more so now in the running game. But you see guys like on their D line, like Jordan Davis, where he just swipes Andrew Wiley off the screen. That's what we need from our interior D tackles. Guys, D tackles who can just either it's a swipe, rip, I don't care what they do, but get off of their blocks and shut things down. And Deron Payne does it sometimes. I'm not going to say he doesn't. But with Newton and Mathis both, they're still young. They're still figuring things out. Newton had the foot injury. He's still coming to his own. John Allen goes down. I kind of expected the run defense to get worse when John Allen went down. But I expect more from the linebackers in the run game.
Yeah, and I was what I was gonna say is with the defensive line too. Witt kind of talked about it early on in the year. And that's something that I'm gonna, when my rewatch, I'm gonna try to see with the D tackles, specifically with the D tackles. Like, are they getting to the gap and controlling the gap versus, rushing and and getting pushed out? A lot of times, what I mean, D tackles, they see opportunity, they think they rushing upfield, think they about to make a play, and they get pushed out the gap. And then you got a wide open gap for a guy like Saquon Barkley. You know what I mean? He gonna make somebody miss, or he gonna run through and run past him. He got it all in his arsenal. So I definitely want to see if that was that. But Witt definitely talked about early on where guys wasn't fully doing their job controlling the gaps. So got to make sure I take a look on that. So that's the point I was gonna make.
Yeah, and you'll
And then
see it. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead. Now you good.
I was gonna say real quick, like what you'll see in a lot of zone runs, like if it's designed to go to the left B gap, Deron Payne will get double teamed and he'll get turned, and then the usually it'll be the left guard will like take Deron Payne in the center, climbs to the second level, and takes out whatever linebackers there. Then boom, we have a 5-6 yard gain. That's mostly what I'm seeing. Sometimes our plays where like a D tackle will come up and like kind of run past the player, or D ends do, and they're just not setting the edge. But for a majority of the time, 5 offensive linemen, you got a four-man front, and then sometimes the linebacker will drop into coverage or something. But oftentimes the lineman's just climbing to the second level with ease and taking out one of those linebackers, and then there's a wide open hole where the play's exactly supposed to go. But yeah, I definitely want to rewatch this one from the defensive standpoint and just see why we're not stopping the run still.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at a couple of comments on the IG, got a lot of interaction. Shout out to everybody on engaging with us. But someone just asked in reference to Cliff, do we believe Cliff should stay with us or listen to offers for other teams? They hope he stays. He wasn't bad this season. He wasn't all bad this season. And I don't, me personally, of course not. I don't want to lose Cliff. I think he's been doing a great job this far with this offense and with Jayden. We got a few bumps right now that we're gonna fix, and I believe we can. But I think Cliff has been definitely pretty solid. He talked about early on, when he came here, that one of the biggest things that he enjoyed about just being an OC and not a head coach is having to do everything, having to oversee everything. So right now he's kind of basking in just to kind of focus on the offense and do things like that. So I don't know if a year later, I mean, money talks. So I don't know if a year later that decision changes or if it was just smoke screen. But I don't necessarily think Cliff will be gone after one year, maybe 2 to 3 years, especially with you getting Jayden. What I mean? I think at least 3 of the 4 years he's gonna lock in and stay.
I don't think he wants to be a
What
head
y'all
coach
think?
again. I think he's got it made as
Yeah,
an OC. Just let him do what he loves to do. Like you said, he doesn't have to do all that
exactly.
outside
He got
stuff.
a sweet.
Yeah, I would never want to go back
Yeah,
to head coach if I was Cliff.
yeah,
And it's just
especially
so
when you're gonna go
fun.
to somewhere like the Bears.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say Adam Rank and all these Bear fans like, oh, we need Cliff, and then all of a sudden today they're like, oh, we're good on that. Like, and I mean it's our fans too, man. Like, it's gonna be this. If we're not winning, the fans are gonna be jumping off the cliffs. I get
Yeah.
it, but I'm
Mhm.
still like I still
No
have
pun intended.
faith. Yeah, no, literally. I still have I still have faith in Cliff Kingsbury, and I trust this offense. I think we just need to regroup, man. I think this team is tired, just like us fans. Like right now,
Yeah.
how we
Mhm.
feel this morning is how this team has felt for the last 4 or 5 weeks, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
nah,
given
that's real.
the criticism of the offense the last few weeks, nobody's ready to jump ship. Nobody's ready to say fire Cliff Kingsbury or go ahead and get a head coach's job. Like Z said, Cliff needs to be here 3 to 4 seasons. He's still getting paid by the
Mhm.
Arizona Cardinals as a head coach.
Still,
I think he may have one
still.
season or something
Crazy.
left still on that deal. And he's getting paid from us. So why would he want to go somewhere else? I think, and he's not going nowhere. I think he's going to be here. I think that he's intrigued by Jaden Daniels and what this offense can be in the future. And we're doing all of this with literally no weapons. We have a tight end
Hmm.
who's on his downward spiral. We have
Hmm.
a back that they said was washed in Austin Eckler. We have a third year back in Brian Robinson Jr. That's on the uptick. We have Terry McLaurin, and then we have role wide receivers. So once I think if we get a T Higgins, if we get a top tier receiver, and maybe another tight end or something like that, and improved play on the offensive line. With all the offensive line has done this year, I think they've been really good. But I think we need to upgrade it at a couple positions on the offensive line. If we do that, like, come on, the sky's the limit with this offense. So I don't think Cliff's in no hurry to pack it up and go be a head coach.
Yeah, yeah. Agree for sure, for sure. So yeah, what do you guys think? Would be the keys to Dallas of victory?
I want to be cocky and say just showing up because that team is so bad right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they said Cooper Cup's on the injury report now. If we have to play Trey Lance, that's gonna
Cooper
be.
Rush hurt. Oh
Cooper Rush.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
they say someone
wow.
yesterday said he was hurt. Something like his neck or
Mm.
something. I will have to look at it again. They said he popped up on the injury report. I mean, he's still got a ways out though. But that team just looks defeated. I've watched a couple other games this season. I watched that Lions game. I watched the Saints game, the 49ers game. That team's just, you got Micah Parsons saying that his coach can go and no one would care. That's bad, man. I love to
The
see
writing
it
is on the
though.
wall.
Yeah,
The
writing's
writing
on the
is on
wall.
the wall.
Micah's gone. As soon as Dan left, I knew Micah wanted to go. He loves Dan Quinn so much.
Yeah, I felt the same way, and it's like a part of me feel like that we got an opportunity. We might have a chance to get him. I think Jerry gonna hate and keep franchising him or something like that. But I think Michael would definitely love to come here with
No,
that.
Jerry would have a stroke if Micah went to Washington. Just how much he hates us. There is no way he would let that. He would step down immediately. He would not let that happen.
That's facts.
But I mean, and I look at it like it's a Dan Quinn. I don't want to say like revenge game because they didn't like fire him or anything. He got a better opportunity. Um, but I don't know. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna watch that. They play who's it? The Texans this weekend. I'm gonna watch that game and see if they have a pulse. I don't think they will. Um, but I think they're just so defeated. I think the fans are done. I think the team's just done with the season. I think we smack them. To be honest with you, I don't think it's at home.
Mm.
I don't think it's close. I'm saying like a 21-point win, which is crazy after what I just watched last night. But that's just what I feel. I think we run the ball down their throat. I think Jayden's back to Jayden. Defense balls out. We have 2 turnovers, and the fans are happy again. Like a win against the Cowboys heals everything. I don't
Yeah,
care what Cowboy, if it's their
Absolutely.
practice squad. A W against them
yeah,
boys, that heals the whole season, in my opinion. I always told people back when we sucked, I was like, I don't care if we go 2-14 or whatever it was at the time, as long as that two's against Dallas. Like,
yeah,
beat Dallas twice, it's a good season for me just because I have no
I think we all
expectations.
been there. We all been there.
Yeah, like we're doing
yeah, for
mock
sure.
drafts at halftime. But
For
nah,
sure.
I feel good about that one. I don't know what y'all think after last night, if it changed your expectations, but I think we smack them.
Yeah,
I
nah, I
think
don't, my expectations don't change at all. I just think that I just don't want to play down to the competition.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen that much from this regime, but that's definitely been our our stilo prior to. So the focus is just stay on top of these guys for sure. I mean, and then you can't underestimate the defense. They still got playmakers, you know. So you still got to be able to execute and, like you said, run the ball, and take shots. Get the blood flowing back through this offense. Be aggressive. Get the fun back, so we can, we can roll into Tennessee and, handle them when we play. They play at home, and we can handle them, and then roll into the bye and get ready for, what is it, New Orleans after that. So we just gotta bit by bit rebuild this offense, just rebuild this confidence around this team, and I think we'll be fine. And I think this would be definitely a game that we should be able to do it for sure. So 2 to 3 touchdown prediction for me. Win by margin is what I'm saying for me, and we'll see. What you got, Reedy? I ain't steal your what you was gonna say, did you?
nah, you're good. I think my keys to a victory against the Cowboys is get back to our identity, get back to what got us here, get back to running the football, get back to um being creative in the offensive playbook. It said that there's so many plays left in this Cliff Kingsbury playbook. Well, I ain't seen him pull them out. It's time to pull them out.
Yep.
Like, what are we saving them for? Like, we gotta
Wasn't
win.
last
Like,
night. It wasn't
yeah,
last night.
I mean, we gotta win. Let's get these guys healthy. Let's come in here. Let's hit these dudes in the mouth, and just do what we do. Run the football. Get the play pass going. Get Jayden out of the pocket. Move the pocket. Waggles boots. Do things of that nature. And defensively, just keep doing what we're doing. Bend but don't break defense. If we can't necessarily stop the run, but just like I said, bend but don't break. If we can get to the red zone and cause field goals, then that's fine. It's the Cowboys, so I'm never going to say that they're going to be totally out of it because it's a division game, and these division games are hard fought. They're going to come down to the end. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, maybe a last possession or something like that. So I think we just gotta, just keep doing what we're doing, and I think we'll be fine. Um, that's my keys to the game. Just basically get back to our identity of what we had the first part of the season before we started falling short. And that's just run the football, hit the play pass, and just keep it at that.
Yeah, I'm glad, honestly, the Cowboys is the next game. We do have a 10 day stretch where we don't, we can rest, we can kind of recoup and everything. But you already know our team's going to be ready to come back out, like back to back NFC East games. Disappointing loss to the Eagles. Have to come back, go back to home at least, but it's the Cowboys. Absolutely hate those guys. I think the team's going to look completely different. And if not, I think that's when we start hitting the what's really going on button. If we come out against this Cowboys team and look bad, that's when I start to hit the panic button because, like I said, that team's just god awful. But then also, what other motivation do you need? You got embarrassed primetime Thursday night football against the Eagles. You're back home against your biggest rival. If that's not enough motivation for you, and Terry talked about it, like everything was good and fine and dandy when we were winning, but like this is when we really get tested. Like, what are we gonna look like
Yeah,
after this loss? I'm glad he said that because it's so true. Like, it's not even just fans and stuff, but how does the team as a whole respond? People saying like, "Oh, Jayden was too happy after the game. He's smiling. He wasn't even sad about it." I promise you, those guys are pissed off more than we are because this is their body on the line, and they're the ones out there working, and we're just the ones that are talking about it. So I think they come out just on fire against the Cowboys, and I think it'd be like a 17-21 point win.
yeah. And like Z said, get us on, get through the Cowboys, not looking over them, but get this win against the Cowboys, then we can move on to
Keep things
Tennessee and then
rolling.
get that much needed bye. We need this bye week.
Yeah,
This week 14
Yeah.
bye week is tough.
we've had like what
It's
3 or 4 years in a row.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, these
absolutely
late
tough.
buys been out of pocket.
It's a blessing and it's a curse.
Yeah.
It's a blessing if you're making a run
Yeah.
if you're making a playoff push because you get that rest, but it's a curse because it takes so long to get there. If you got injuries in the beginning part of the season, it's like, what do you do? Every day you're looking to elevate somebody from the practice squad, or you're
Yep.
looking to waiver wire or something. Like it's a struggle.
I would,
We
I
just
would rather have week 14 than week 5, though. Can you imagine doing the whole
absolutely,
strap, the
absolutely.
whole stretch of the season? Unless you suck, then you don't really care. But if you're a good team and you want to go into the playoffs healthy and stuff, that week 5 buys honestly worse than week 14. But right now, we're just a banged up team. And it shows. I mean, we've been the injury report over the last 3 weeks is something that we've been looking forward to before the game. It's like, all right, where's B Rob? Where's the offensive line? Is Marshawn gonna play? Like the injury report should not be this exciting to a fan base. But the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been what a lot of our attention's been at look going into these big games. Or Jade with his ribs. Like it's been too big of a headline the last 2 or 3 games.
But I would say this: I
Yeah,
think if we
agreed.
go into this Cowboys game after 10 days rest and Lattimore is not on the field, we have a bigger question to ask. A bigger question to ask for all we've given up for him is, was the injury more than he supposedly had a physical. So I don't never really see teams that make moves with guys that are injured, giving up what we gave up, and then he can't get on the field. This would be what, 4 weeks if he doesn't play, 3 weeks if he
It'll
doesn't play,
be
because he
three.
didn't
It'll
play.
be three
He didn't
games.
play
Yeah.
2 weeks before with them. So my question is, why didn't we think to put him on short term IR in that case?
I think he had it at the beginning of the season too, like in like training camp and stuff. Maybe like preseason, like going back. I was just looking at things, but I mean, they said they got his reports. You know he's gonna play that Saints game. Like he's gonna be there for that. Maybe that's been their thought all along. Like with this stretch, like let's just get to the bye and then have him play the first game is against the Saints. But I still think that's way too long. Um,
Yeah.
am I concerned about his hamstring? Honestly, not. I don't think Adam would have like you said, they got the full reports. They looked at everything. They got the physicals. The trainers have been working with them. I just think it's a thing of like why rush it, Now you have 2 losses in a row. You kind of want to rush it because like, all right, we need to have them out there just so we're our best team because we can't lose 3 straight. Like this fan base is going to implode if we lose to the Cowboys. Um, so maybe, but they don't think like us. They think business wise of
Mhm.
we need this guy for the long term. We need this guy for a playoff
Yeah.
push. But if he
But
doesn't play for the Cowboys, I think that's my cutoff. Like Cowboys game, like all right, cool, he's out, whatever. I'm not gonna stress. Titans game, I'm like, oh shoot, like this is almost a month. Like Jaquan Brisker's had a concussion for like 2 months. You just never know what's going on with these injuries. But I think the Cowboys game is the last game where I'm giving them a grace period of like, all right, if he's out, he's out. But then Titans, I'm like, I need to see that hamstring.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that my opinion on it is, of course, you definitely want him out there. Shit, I was trying to have him out there for the Steelers game.
Oh yeah.
Then to kind of see
facts.
this week, that he didn't play. It's like, all right, okay, all right, so all right, now on to Dallas, and you continue to kind of set your expectations. But like you said, the guy if he don't play Dallas, it's definitely gonna have that question mark in my head. But also, a part of me is just kind of trying to focus on the fact that this wasn't just a now move. You know what I mean? He has like 2.5 years left on his deal. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a move for the future as well. So it's just kind of finding your balance in that and just not getting so caught up in the fan side of it and try to think from the business aspect of it. But I think we'll be fine, and I'm confident he'll play Sunday against Dallas. And if not, then like you said, it's like all right now. You know what
Yeah,
I
10
mean? Week
days.
week 15, week 15 is a long way from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Titans is like to bring it not play Dallas and come out against the Titans. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like I wanted to be Dallas so we can kind of like I said, get the blood flowing on the not only on the offense but the defense, just with this team in general. Just get the engine moving, man. We got some games, some key games coming up, some winnable games, and we got to keep this momentum going. We can't let this fall be a tumble for the rest of the year.
And to all of the Eagles fans, go ahead and pop y'all shit. Y'all talking about belt the ass and fly Eagles fly. We're gonna see y'all in about 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. We're gonna see y'all. So
December
it
22nd,
is what it is.
Uptown
It is what
Federal.
it is.
Pull up.
They were booing their team for 3.5 quarters. That's all I
They,
know.
they were real quiet in the stadium. They weren't so boisterous and so disrespectful. Then all of a sudden, Saquon. Then all of a sudden, they're talking again. Okay, all right.
What's gonna
That's definitely
happen?
how them Eagles fans do for sure.
They're gonna lose in the playoffs again. They're gonna say Nick Sirianni sucks again. They're gonna say Jalen Hurts isn't their quarterback anymore, like
Hmm.
they do every offseason. And then they're gonna hype themselves up going into the next season, and then do the same thing again. They're gonna lose in the first rounds like the
Yeah.
Packers or somebody. I already see it happening.
But yeah, they definitely was popping that shit after that game, boy. And a little bit before the game, they booing us we out there in our Reed and Z jackets. We trying to get some content. We posted up. I said, yeah, me and Reed, we was like, we're gonna post it up right here in the front so all the fans can see us. I'm talking about every time they looked our way, boo, boo. You had some of them coming dapping us up, trying to be nice, but it definitely, I like their fan base because they definitely, what I mean, they pops their shit for sure. But definitely, like we just said, when it ain't going right, they quiet as church mice.
Hmm.
And including my wife. My wife is an Eagles fan, so 3 quarters she is super quiet. Once Saquon get to popping off, she jumping up, she waving her Eagles chain. She got something to say. She asking Reedy, "Are you okay?" Woke up this morning, Reedy, you good? Reedy was real short. Yeah, I'm fine. Good morning.
We gave
So,
teams
yeah,
the blueprint of how to beat them. Like just get to Jalen Hurts. We had them
yeah,
rattled. I'd say the first almost full 3 quarters of the game.
shit,
Jalen was
yeah,
hurt, by the way. That boy, he had no idea where he was at. Like he thought he
yeah.
was back in Alabama or Oklahoma.
Yeah,
There's no
somebody in the
way he
comments
passed
said it
that.
looked like you had a concussion.
He was on the
Yeah,
sideline, just
Jalen
like
Hurts. Yeah,
like they kept
yeah.
showing the camera on him, and then he went to the blue tent, and they were like, "Oh, he's fine." I'm like, he was not fine. The Luvu
Mm,
hit, he got up like stunned, like he was like wobbling, like you get hit with the left jab in a fight or something. He's just his legs were shaky, and then the in the red zone, there was another time he like fell face first to the ground where he tried to like toss it to Saquon, and I was like, he's not okay. There's no way he's
yeah.
okay. And then they showed him on the sideline just staring into space, and like someone was talking next to him. He had no idea what was going on. But they said he passed concussion protocol. I don't think so. Like I promise you, either today or tomorrow, something's going to come out. The NFL's going to investigate it, like they did with Josh Allen in the Bills, because he did not look okay at all. Just to make sure they did everything they're supposed to. But we had them rattled. Like, that's the thing. I'm still not scared of the Eagles. I can't wait to play them again, because we had them like on defense. It was belt to ass for like by us for a while. Jalen Hurts had no idea what to do. For the majority of the game.
He didn't beat us. It was Saquon that beat us.
Saquon.
That's what I was saying all last week. Saquon, we got stop Saquon and we'll be fine. I feel like we can manage, even with a defensive front that's not the greatest in the world, we still did what we did against them. So I agree to your point.
We just got to get back to who we are, man.
Yeah, who was he talking to on ESPN? That's you're a DMV guy, right? Yeah. Oh, you're a DMV guy, right?
I like DC.
Like, like you said, that's what we doing. Like, all right, don't forget you got to come see us.
Yeah, Scott Van Pelt, he reps us hard. Shout out to SVP. But even in that interview, he had no idea what was going on. He's like, and he had his sunglasses on, like.
Yeah, he was all quiet, like, oh yeah.
Bright lights, you got to put sunglasses on if a concussion. Like, they told that boy right after the game, put them Ray-Bans on, man. The Versace's, whatever you got, like, throw them on, man.
Whatever you got.
We can't let them see you.
Damn. But yeah, but for sure, let me see if there's any more comments to talk about. Nah, kind of dwindling down. The City Eagles fans are definitely two-faced.
They like Knicks fans.
Maybe we're gonna smoke Dallas and Tennessee. Defense was tied.
Yeah, they did all they could. Like, I can't even say anything bad about the defense in the fourth quarter, because they held their own for the first three quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Not even mad at them.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, anything else you want to add, Reedy?
Let's beat the Cowboys. We can finally say it now, fans. Let's beat Dallas.
Yeah, we won Dallas. This is the week to say we won Dallas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was crazy, by the way. Like, was it after the Bears game we started doing that?
Yeah, like come on, like, we got the Steelers next. We then Philly. You talking you want Dallas?
Talking about? Like, I'm over here like hitting the Jayden like hush sign on all the Bears fans. And I had people behind me like saying we want Dallas. I'm like, come on, y'all, we gotta act like we've been here. I know we haven't, but we still gotta fake it till we make it.
Nah, for sure. That's what Reedy was saying, telling a couple of fans in the comments, and he was like, man, yo, chill on the we want Dallas. Like, we got the Steelers next. Yeah, and he was like, dude, what did he say? Somebody commented like, dude, you ain't the coach. I can want Dallas or something like that. I'm like, damn, like. He's just trying to tell you, Dallas is not the bar. Like, Dallas is not our bar. We are so beyond Dallas. You know what I mean? We're beyond a lot of these teams, and we need to, until we're mentally there as a fan base, like, our expectations shouldn't be down here no more. We are a rising organization, so we gotta have our expectations aligned with that. Stop worrying about, dumpster juice. Shit.
And not even the pile on Dallas, but they're not even in the conversation. So why are we even worrying about them? We need to say we want Philadelphia.
Yeah,
they're in our way to get where we want to be, not Dallas.
Didn't even get an invite. Yeah, they just
Dallas is we want Dallas when we have to face them, but on other weeks we don't. I don't care if they win, they lose, or it's a wrap. The quarterback is done. They don't have a running game. Their defense is in shambles right now. You got your defensive players glazing players on other teams, making your team look like
that's wild.
So, it is what it is with Dallas. I don't understand. I mean, I get in years past, we didn't have nothing to play for. That was our Super Bowl, beating Dallas, but them days are over.
Agreed.
Not with you. I agree. That's the next thing. Just rest up. I'm not gonna say we want Dallas for like at least until after Sunday. Monday, I'm gonna start saying we want Dallas. Right now, like, we need sleep. we want rest. We want a break. That's all we want.
Facts.
Then Monday it's back to we want Dallas.
Hold on, we got a comment that Monique in the comments said we're trying to wish bad luck on Jaylen. Don't worry, he's not going to work. You better worry about your own quarterback and those ribs. Like, I'll never prey on the downfall of a
I
injury to
love
no
Jalen.
player. First of
Yeah.
all, he's a good player. Has he fallen off over the last 2 seasons since the Super Bowl? Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm praying on his downfall or we're worried about. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah,
I'm worried
I
about
love
my team,
Jalen.
and
Yeah.
that's getting better.
I got a Jalen Hurts jersey in my closet right now. The Alabama jersey, but definitely not
Roll Tide.
Eagles. But no, I love
Yeah.
Jalen. He's such a good dude. Like I would wish nothing but the best for Jalen, except for when we play him. Like he's an
Exactly.
awesome guy. He's like one of the nicest, like genuine people like you would ever meet. I've talked to him a couple times, like when he was at Alabama. Then just the nicest fucking dude I've ever met. But when we play him,
Yeah.
I wish everything bad on him.
Yeah, when
And
they show like his workouts and how hard he work, what he
Dude,
puts in his
yeah,
daily routine,
yeah, like
I
Derrick
definitely
Henry.
gained a lot of I gained a lot of respect for him, for that as a person. But definitely, you know what I mean, as a player, yeah, it's you know what I mean, it's F him.
Yeah,
But like you really said, never wish, you know what I mean, he's a rival, he's an opponent. It's that type of energy, but it's never, you know, an injury or, you know, a downfall in his career, anything like that. Not at all. I mean, the man looked dizzy, he looked dizzy. It is what it is.
if
He might
anything, we're
need to
trying
get
to help
checked
him.
out and
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean? We calling
he
for the
needs some
league
help.
to yeah, check in on him. That's all. But you know, outside of that, we wish the brother well, just not against us.
Hmm.
I guess it's by any means necessary because they said they showed us that we don't want Philly. Any means necessary, even at the even at your quarterback possibly being concussed and his long term future being questioned. That's all we're saying is the man looked like he was a little off.
Hmm. Facts, facts. But yeah, brothers, if there's nothing else we gonna chat about, we gonna close it out. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys are like, share, subscribing, at Reading and Z, all platforms, at Josh Taylor FB, all platforms. Stay tapped in with us. Josh, again, we definitely appreciate you for joining
Thank you.
us. It was definitely a great episode.
Yes,
A
sir.
lot of knowledge, man. You doing your thing, so keep up the great work. And you know, as far as us, man, we like we always say, we just two guys, lifelong fans, just doing something we love to do, and being in this space and collabing with everybody is definitely important to us. And we're just trying to grow that network, grow the brotherhood, and just you know help everybody, and likewise, and just what I mean, this community is definitely kind of taking us in, and we want to just continue to put forth that, and build genuine relationships, and we definitely appreciate you, brother. Salute to you for sure.
Yeah, man. Appreciate. Like I said, I love what y'all do, man. I think those are like the best ones. Is like the guys that are just lifelong fans. They just do this because they love it and they love this team.
Hmm.
Excuse me. And like I said, we do have a crazy fan base. Just get on Twitter today and you'll see how crazy it is. But y'all are awesome, and I'll be back for the Titans game. So if anyone goes to that, just let me know. I usually hit up some tailgates and stuff like that before the game, and I'm down to come on whenever y'all want me to. So appreciate it.
No question.
Absolutely.
Likewise, let us know. And yeah, definitely. Reedy,
Thank
we
you.
gonna tailgate the Titans game. you know, when the
Man,
opponent don't align, Reedy, we want to just I mean, we can go get some wings at the bar.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the one thing that disappointed me at the Bears game. I thought the food at the stadium sucked this year
Yeah,
compared to like
well,
last year.
we haven't really even been to the concessions much.
yeah, we
Really,
With the
we
haven't.
have the
gold,
own
we get
thing.
the
Reedy out there cooking
we get the
ribeyes.
strips, man. Yeah, we got to turn up Dallas game though. I think we was talking about doing some tacos or something. So we got to turn up. We did steak and cheese
Oh
last week
man.
for the Steelers game, but prior to that, we normally do big menus. But now we trying to
Scale
close
it
in
back.
and kind of scale it back, simplify things a little bit. So we might have theme menus moving forward. But yeah, definitely that Tennessee game, definitely tap in with us. We'll
Yeah,
be out
definitely
there for
will.
sure. Whether we tailgate or
Fantastic.
not, we'll be there for sure.
We're probably going to tailgate knowing he wants to tailgate every game.
Every
I don't know,
game, you know what
bro,
I
I
mean? We
don't feel
gotta
like bringing all of this stuff out there and got to clean it up and all of that. Like,
That's
let's
true.
just go somewhere and buy something. You know what
put the
I'm
tent up. We gotta be
There's
out
nothing
there.
around the stadium. That's another thing. It's not like
Yeah,
you can go walk somewhere.
Jasper's is the closest thing, and Jasper's be packed before and after the game. So I don't really be
That
feeling
ain't worth
saying? Do
it.
they
Jasper's.
still have that brunch on Sundays? I don't know.
Yeah, they still got the brunch. It used to be
I'm
like
just gonna bring like a
$25 all you can eat
bring
brunch.
something with me. I don't know. That's usually when I get there, people just like handing food out though. Like I pull up to the little
Mm-hmm.
red zone corner, everyone's just like making something, so I just pull up,
Yeah.
get a plate.
But
And go.
I be hearing the red zone lot be jumping.
It is, yeah, it definitely is. I mean, they've been giving like free shots and stuff. Like
Mm,
they, I usually hit up for
yeah,
like an hour or two before the game, then I go inside and get something. Yeah,
yeah.
especially Eddie. I don't know if y'all know Eddie, but he was cooking like for the Bears game. He was making like Chicago hot dogs. And I was like, man, I
Mm,
don't know about this thing. I don't like anything on this hot dog. And that was one of the best hot dogs I ever had in my life. Like, shout out to Eddie.
damn.
That boy can throw it
Yeah,
down. So they be cooking over there in the red zone lot.
That's what's up.
that's
That's
what's
what's up.
up. That's what's up. But yeah, man, like Z said, Josh, man, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on, man. You're welcome anytime. From afar, just seeing you, like, big fan. You know, very, very knowledgeable when it comes to this football, this Commanders talk. It's very knowledgeable. Just keep up the good work and just more success to you in everything that you're doing.
Nah, I appreciate it. Same with y'all,
No
man. Get
question.
some sleep.
Yeah, for sure. And we got a back to back today. We got a double hitter. I think we going on with Rio around like 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah, I'll tune in. I'll be at the
So
gym. I'll
yeah,
be watching it.
that's the best. So we're gonna get a little break in between and then hop right back on. But yeah,
Maybe I get a chance to
until
watch
next
this
time.
all 22 real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in between too.
All
But
right.
yeah, y'all, until next time, appreciate y'all. Rudy and Z, Josh Taylor, signing out. Peace out.